Okay. All right. Now we're recording. Hello.
Hi.
Keitaro Matsuda-san agreed to do this interview with me. And today is, I think, October 26th. It's a Wednesday. And I'm just going to ask him a few questions. And if he would share with us, honestly, that would be great. So,
Sure.
are you ready for the first question?
Sure.
And feel free to just, talk, just tell us what you're thinking, just a little conversation. So first of all, I'd like to know how long you've been a friendly caller or visitor.
Okay. I have been a friendly visitor volunteer since March of 2013.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's almost 10 years
Yes.
Since I started. And I've been calling on the same client all this while.
Wow.
As a Japanese speaking volunteer.
Okay. So no names of clients, please. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, that's fantastic. Wow. Okay. And so has it been rewarding for you? Are there any challenges?
Oh, it has been very rewarding for me. But there have been some challenges. But over the 10 years, my client actually had quite a few challenges. So we basically experienced many of those things together. Mm-hmm. And that really made our relationship very meaningful. He, over the years, had different housing arrangements, some financial issues and other issues. And he also had very serious health challenges over that period, including a surgery and also the death of his mother in Japan. And so it has been a challenging time for him. And besides, he has some handicap. So that makes everything even more challenging. But I have been enjoying seeing this client once a week. And over the years, this client and I have become very good friends. And I used to take him out for coffee, and sometimes I helped him with his shopping and that sort of thing before the pandemic. But then the pandemic started, I became his friendly caller for a while. Mm-hmm. But now that things have gotten a little bit better, again, we are meeting and talking to each other. And he is just a fascinating person to talk to. Some other friendly visitors, particularly the ones who have clients who are quite old, mm-hmm. often have some difficulties in getting the conversation going and that sort of thing. That has not been the case. He loves to talk, and he also has many interests. That has been, again, a reward for me as well as a challenge, because his interest ranges from astrophysics to classical music. Wow. I'm a music lover, but I don't know anything about the physics. So that has been a problem. But he has amazing memory, and he can tell you about a lot of things. So I really enjoy talking to him. Occasionally, he becomes sort of opinionated, and I may have different point of view. But again, conversation has been very stimulating. And J-Sei's case managers have also been calling on him on a regular basis. And I understand that he tells them that he enjoys my visit with him, and he looks forward to our weekly sessions. And I spent about an hour and a half each week with him. And knowing that you are making a difference, a positive difference in somebody else's life, is enormously rewarding. And that's what I think motivate most J-Sei volunteers, to help out somebody and to make his or her life a little better, easier, more stimulating, or less isolating. But I would say that that's just the beginning. Helping that person is just the beginning, because what many of my fellow friendly visitors seems to find out is that they also benefit from the experience. You are also a friendly visitor, so you know all about this, but it becomes a two-way exchange. And you call on somebody, spend time with him or her, and hopefully make that person happy. But at the same time, you'll learn something about the client, about the world, and sometimes even about yourself. For example, like I learned so much about classical music by listening to my client talking about different composers, performers, pieces of music, and he is like a walking encyclopedia on classical music, really. Yeah, so I learned so much about music, but I also learned by observing him much about challenges that handicapped people face every day. So again, that sort of broadened my perspective, and that was good.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, but the most profound lesson I learned was this. For many years, I was a homeowner, so I spent a considerable amount of time taking care of it and protecting it. I have a car, so again, I schedule maintenance and secure insurance. I also have financial assets which needs monitoring, and I also have retirement plan, the healthcare plan, and all that sort of thing. You know, everyday thing. Then I met my client, who once even was unhoused or homeless. And now he's in a comfortable situation, thanks to the work that the J-Sei's case managers have done for him. But he doesn't have any of the things I just mentioned: no house, no car, no insurance policy, and no investment portfolios, except, again, thanks to our case managers, he now has the healthcare coverage. But anyway, so he has none of those things, yet his life is basically okay. My client is quite happy with what he has.
Oh, yes.
Small apartment, Braille science magazines, and hundreds of CDs. And that's all he needs and wants, and he seems to be quite happy. And that sort of was a revelation to me. The things I thought I needed, I must have, were possibly just extras, you know. Then this realization helped me relax a bit. You know, it's not about taking care of things. There are some things you can have, you need to be happy, but not everything I have in my life. So that was good. So again, I would say that the beauty of volunteering is that both the volunteer and the client benefit. We learn from each other. It's not just one person giving, another person receiving. And being appreciated by a person whom you're helping out is totally satisfying. But what I want to add is that volunteering will likely make your own world a little bigger, richer, brighter, and kinder. So I highly recommend it.
Oh, thank you so much. That is absolutely inspiring. And so many of the things you said, I agree. It's so true, isn't it? Yes. But I'm not sure. I think that was great. I'm not sure if everybody understands that it's as rewarding for the volunteer also. Yeah. So
yes. And in being a friendly visitor, we are required to have like training.
Yes.
And we have like training sessions twice a year, something like that. And again, I learned so much from those training sessions. How to be a good listener, for example. You know, you go in and meet with your client, you feel that you need to talk. Tell them, you know, but actually it's more important to really listen to them. And you know, that's something I learned. And also the many challenges that the older people experience, the physical thing, health related things, psychological things, all those things I learned from those training sessions. Again, not only that helped me be a good volunteer, but also these are things I can use in my own life as I get older. So being a volunteer at J-Sei is also a great learning experience.
That's great. We need multiples of you, Kay. That's wonderful. Yes.
Yeah, and again, at those training sessions, the volunteers often talk about our own experience and share, there's some tips, or sometimes talk about the challenges we are faced with. But again, you meet the nicest people at those sessions because they are people who want to do something for others. And that in itself is inspiring, but they are really nice, deep, kind individuals. So again, if you want to surround yourself with nicest people
there you
ever meet, again, volunteer.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Really, we at J-Sei, we are blessed to have all the volunteers like you. I have one more question to ask you, though.
Sure.
What triggered you to become a volunteer in the first place, to do this?
Oh, that's a great question. I retired 11 years ago or something like that. And then within the year, my father passed away. And that was one of the reasons why I retired early, because my father at that time already had the diagnosis of cancer. And the family knew that he had limited time. So I retired and I could go back to Japan and spend time with my father. And that was great. I was really glad that I had that opportunity. But after my father passed away, again, I was back in the US. And part of me was feeling grateful that my father had wonderful support as he was going through his old age and also this very severe illness. But I wasn't in Japan, so I couldn't do anything to repay my appreciation to those individuals who supported him. But at the same time, I felt somewhat, that if I had lived in Japan, I probably could have done more for my father, but I couldn't because I was physically away. I was wondering, what can I do instead for somebody who is perhaps nearby? And so that was sort of the back of my mind. And then I walked into Yaoya-san Market one day. And then there was this flyer asking whether anybody wanted to be a friendly visitor or caller. And I said, this is something I can do, particularly because I speak Japanese. Maybe I can meet somebody who needs company, who wants to talk to somebody who speaks Japanese. And so that's what triggered my interest in volunteering. And that's how I got connected with the J-Sei.
Wow. So those flyers worked? Wow, that's fantastic.
Did for me.
That's really great to know. Wow. And then almost 10 years later. Yes. So is this something you foresee doing continuously until you can't, I guess? I don't know. Yes. Sure. Definitely.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Again, my client and I have become very good friends. So I look forward to talking to him. And so, as long as I can, I would like to continue.
Great. Well, this seems to be the best case scenario here. Wonderful. I really appreciate you doing this for me.